Hello, I'm John, and I do the smokeless powder guns on this channel, and my buddy Dimwit, he does the black powder guns. Let's take a closer look at this Husqvarna rifle from 1944. It's been modified quite a bit. When I bought it, it was just a barrel receiver with a bolt in it. So I found this very nice stock and put it in there, and let's have a closer look. And I did some other things to it. Now, this rifle is from the early 640 series that they built on basically Swedish military Mauser receivers, except they didn't do the thumb cutout for loading with clips. So that makes this action much stiffer and stronger and more accurate. It doesn't have this cutout, thumb cutout right here. And these are hard to come by. They only used these receivers to begin with, and then they started buying Model 98 Mauser receivers from FN in Belgium. And this is in 8x57 Mauser, which makes it a Model 648. There was also the Model 646 in 6.5x55, and there was the Model 649 in 9.3x57. So this is 1944, and they started, the serial numbers on the 8mm started at 48,001, and this is 48,451. So this is number 451 that they made. So this would put it to the first year of production, I would think. So 1944, and not sure when they changed over to the Model 98 actions. So that's a little bit about the history, and I've done some things to it. I have drilled and tapped the receiver for a scope, and I have put a match trigger in it, and a Kongsberg Norwegian match trigger. It looks like this. This is for a Model 98 Mauser, but it looks very much the same. And they are really good triggers. Adjustable, of course, and this is the original trigger assembly. And I done some messing around with the striker, and you see this has got the military type striker that you can cock. If you have a misfire, you can kind of grab onto it and cock it without opening the gun. And these Swedish Mausers, they have a heavy and long and kind of slow lock time. So a lot of people do different things to shorten the striker stroke and lighten the weight and make it faster, shorter, stronger, and that's kind of where things start to go wrong. Here's a Swedish competition rifle set up with a really stiff spring and a spacer in between here, and it's got this piece here with a really short travel for the firing pin, and also this is the original one that fits in here on this Husqvarna, and it's been shortened and lightened, but there's a camming action here towards the bolt. It twists and forces to open, and things wear out. The bolt doesn't seem to wear out, but these things do. And if you mess with stronger springs, that's a pretty good recipe to wear out those parts. And I have two different springs, stronger springs from a Wolf, and I didn't like it, so I basically went back to the original design with the original military striker and the original spring, but I have the match trigger assembly. If not all of these strikers will work with the match trigger assembly, so this Husqvarna made one would not work, so now if you don't like this, what you could do is cut that cocking piece off. Let me just see, that's so you cut that off flush behind the bolt here. But other than that, I think these are better off left the way they're made, really. They cock on closing, and if you use one of these stronger springs, it gets really uncomfortable, and when you have a shorter stroke, you get all this cocking action on a very short travel. It doesn't feel right. So my advice is to put a match trigger assembly in it and leave the rest in the original military configuration. So I also, you may have noticed, I put a piece of picatinny rail underneath here, and so I can put a bipod on there if I want to. And also I have this searchlight that I can put on there. Oh, that's awkward. Like that. And that also has a kind of a laser aiming beam if you want to. And it's still got the original sights, and when I take the scope off, the scope bases are low enough that I can still use the original sight, but the scope has to come off. And this stock, I'm not sure. It looks awful Norwegian to me, made sometime during the 1960s or 70s, I think. When I drill and tap the receivers, I have a proper barrel vise and action wrenches to take it apart, and I have a combined mill and drill press, and I have this drilling fixture. There's some more parts that go on to this for a Model 98 Mauser, but in this configuration it worked well for the Model 96 Swedish Mauser receiver, and I get this clamped in my mill, and it keeps everything level and straight and all that. So worked out pretty good. And you might have I think you've seen this rifle before, and you're kind of right. I had this rifle set up with 6.5 millimeter barrel, and was going to use it for long range target shooting, and I had this picatinny rail with 20 MOA of elevation on it. It's made by Ferrell. Really nice picatinny rail, but I don't think that would be appropriate for a hunting rifle the way it is now in 8mm Mauser. So I took that off and I put some Weaver bases on there instead. And this rifle is for sale, and I'd be happy to sell it to you with or without the scope. I'm going to keep the searchlight and the bipod, but I have a cheek rest you can buy, put on there if you want to. It's from ITC Marksmanship. They're pretty nice. I also have a comfortable non-slip sling that we can put on there. And if you wanted to, you could have also have this Timney safety. It's like the old Bueller safety. You get it on the right side and just flip it up and down. But I kind of like the, I'm a little old school, and I like the original safety. And it's room enough underneath the scope to work the safety, and there's room enough to get your thumb from the left side over here and grab onto the cartridge if you want to. And this scope is just really fits the gun real well. I had to grind the bolt handle a little bit. I don't know if you can see it, but it clears the scope with a pretty good margin, and it works well. Well, like I said, you can buy it with or without the scope. The scope is a Vector Optics, and that's a Chinese brand that has kind of made a name for themselves. It's 4 to 12 by 40, and it's called Maltese, and here's the specs. And if you think you've seen this scope before, you're right. Some of you might have seen my video with the badass Krag rifle. And I had that scope on here. So this scope actually fits very well on a lot of rifles, and sometimes it's kind of difficult to find a scope that fits properly. You need the scope rings in the right places. You need the right eye relief. You need the turrets, or you need. There's all kinds of things. You need bolt clearance, and there's all kinds of things to consider. If you want to buy this rifle, I strongly suggest you buy the scope too. But I'd be happy. It's a good scope. I'll be happy to keep it. All safety is on now, and of course, if you want to buy this rifle, it's probably best if you live in Norway like I do, and you need a police permit. Let's see. This is pretty much it, I think, and when the gun is sold, I'll put it down and add it on to the description. So if you see this video 5 years from now, I wonder if I still have it, then just take a look at the description. So hope you like my Husqvarna customized hunting rifle, born in 1944, 80 years old. I don't think I'm going to be in this kind of condition when I'm 80 years old, but who knows. Thanks for watching, and be sure to click on like, and I'll be happy to answer whatever questions you got. Bye bye.